back to my channel and welcome if you are new. If you are new here, my name is Sherrell and I am so glad you clicked on this channel. Y'all, I know that this intro is super extra, but I am so excited because I have been talking about making over my kids' rooms and my master bedroom, and today we are finally here. If you do not know, we recently moved from New Jersey after my husband served honorable service of 20 years in the Air Force. We moved to Washington, D.C., yes, America's capital, Washington, D.C., and we signed a 3-year lease when we moved into this home, and we're so thankful to be back here because that's where we just felt like we needed to be here, and also it feels nice to be a little bit closer to family. However, this home brought some challenges. One, the color is so unforgiving, and also two, my son's room is the smallest bedroom out of this whole house, and he only has one window, which does not allow for a lot of natural light to come in. So immediately I wanted to find a color that will complement this room well, so it didn't feel dreary, but it just felt warm, a little more cozy and inviting. Now, I'm a firm believer that your home should be a creative space, a soft place for you to land, a place where you feel inspired. And girlfriend, when I tell you that I had to accept that my son, my baby boy, who is 9, is almost a tween, I had to find a space that actually would grow with him as he continues to mature into a young man. And when it's your baby, you just do not want to do that. I gave myself a spending budget of $200, which I thought was fair given the size of this room. Also, one thing that I did that was different was I actually collaborated with my son. I typically just go by their interests and let that be my motivation. That is the theme of the room. But collaborating with him was such a fun process and it was a joy. So if you are looking for ideas on what you can do in transforming or making over your child's space, bring them in the process and allow them to have a little pride, just a little more pride into their own space. A lot of things are repurposed, such as his side table that I purchased years ago from Five Below. I just painted the legs black, and if you remember seeing my son's room when we were in New Jersey, he had this bright orange toy bin. I went ahead and also painted those the same color as the legs of his side table. But to make sure that I really kept this room cozy, I used the same panels that I got from Walmart, because the theme colors were actually black and white. I was going more for a more Scandinavian, kid-friendly vibe. Adding wood textures like the bookshelf that I purchased from Amazon, and adding the 1x2 right underneath where the removable wallpaper ends really brought the look together that I was looking for. And of course, which is what I really should have started with, was changing the wall color. That bright turquoise blue was a problem. It is an issue. And so I decided to paint the walls a Sherwin-Williams Repose Gray, and especially for this space because, again, he only gets so much natural light from that one window. And so when that light comes in and bounces off the walls, it would feel, at least the room would feel a lot bigger and brighter than what it actually is. And what a difference a can of paint did to this space. And I'm so happy that I chose this color. So of course, our kids are still doing virtual learning during this pandemic. And so when I thought of his study area, I really focused on making sure that this was a space that he was excited to always come and learn, even if he was not in the mood. But I got his desk from IKEA. I opted to purchase only 2 of the legs because I wanted to give the desk a floating-ish type feel. So I got some L brackets that I picked up from Home Depot, and I mounted that on the wall. And then above his desk, I went ahead and added a few of his favorite Avenger characters. And I wanted to make sure that everything that he needed was right there in the space, because if you're a mama, you know that if your baby leaves one space to go to the closet, to go get something, or he has to go downstairs, they're easily distracted. So I wanted to make sure that everything that he needed was right there. Now, one of my personal favorites was the fact that he requested that he have, well, he insisted that he has a reading nook area that I actually love because my kids love to read and I don't have to fight them to read. So win for me, right? So of course, I kept the theme going. Beanbag we already had, so we didn't have to make any changes there. His Milliner Iron Man, he's gonna correct me, y'all. His Iron Man Gauntlet, that's what it's called. Gauntlet was still the same. So the only thing that is really new is his bookshelves, like I said before, that I purchased at Amazon, and everything else we already had, so that was a space saver. Now, my favorite part, it's a little weird, but it's my favorite part, y'all, is his reading light, and that's where I splurge the most. That lamp, or that scone wall light, was a little over $40 from Amazon, but I think it's perfect. And it's actually dual, so you can either wire it in if you have the capability to do so, or you can just plug in, which is what we need it since we're renting. But we actually added something, well, we changed our kids' nighttime routine, that's what I'm trying to say, because our son would just be a little overstimulated and he would stay up to, I don't know, sometimes between 10 and 11 o'clock at night, even though his bedtime was much earlier than that. And so what we started doing was, hey, 30 minutes before you go to bed, you just go upstairs in your room and you can read a book, and that has been a game changer. And so adding that light has been wonderful. And then next on this, okay, on the other side of the wall, he has a little envelope that fits any book that he can just place instead of getting back up and putting his books back in his bookshelf. Has been extremely wonderful. So I love that I was able to make this space fun but still yet functional for him. Now, Ethan was blown away by the makeover, and because he loves it, I love it, and honestly, that's all that matters to me. And just to see my babies excited about their room is, I don't know, it just does something. It's such a wonderful gift. But girlfriends, thank you so much for watching. I hope that you really enjoyed this video, and I hope that it gave you some inspiration. And if you enjoyed this video, subscribe and like. And I'm really surprised that I never invited any of my new girlfriends to subscribe to this channel. But if you did, like and subscribe. It really, really means a lot to me, and it does help out my channel. And if you hated it, that's fine. But just remember that you are worth creating a life that you are obsessed with. All right, girlfriends, until next time, stay beautiful.